We've spoken about rare earths before. We've analyzed China's dominance, India's reserves, and the looming supply chain risks. But rare earth magnets, especially the neodymium iron bone, aren't just EV talk. They're in premium IC drivetrains, infotainment systems, and advanced safety sensors. China controls 92% of global magnet manufacturing, over 70% of rare earth mining, and supplies more than 90% of those imports. And that's why export curbs and customs slowdowns in China aren't just geopolitical headlines. They're now production realities in Indian factories. So what's exactly happening in the auto world right now? Let's find out. On the supply front, Hero Moto is in the clear, stable in the first quarter and comfortably covered for the second, both in IC and EV segments. Bajaj Auto, however, is feeling the heat. Supply shortages began hitting production in June. In July, output was down by half, and August is expected to be just as bad. Now, for electric three-wheelers, the shortfall is pegged at 25 to 30%. TVS Motors is also flagging availability as a key near-term concern. But on the other side, Tata Motors, in fact, remains insulated for the next 2 to 3 months and is actively building alternative sourcing outside China to cut its dependence. M&M is similarly shielded stock through the second and third quarters and even experimenting with light rare earth metal substitutes where possible. So the takeaway here, some are bracing for impact, others are buying time, but no one is ignoring the threat. As far as the situation is concerned, EVs are the main users of these magnets, and while IC impact can be managed in the short term, India's EV growth story faces real risk if disruption persists. So the call here, move the wheel, work with suppliers and never depend on one country for critical inputs. That's what Bigneshwar of FADA had to tell ET Now. But let's also tell you how industry experts told ET Now that there are multiple aspects for the way forward. What would that be? Well, number one, guaranteed market assurance for investors. Number two, pilot hubs in mineral-rich states. We're also looking at a point of strategic reserves for 6 months of demand innovation hubs to push recycling and new alloys. The other point being a coordination call to fast-track clearances. Now, while China took decades to build dominance, let's tell you that India doesn't have that luxury, is what a source told ET Now. This is not just about EVs, it's about energy security, defense readiness and industrial competitiveness. India has 13 million tons of monazite reserves, fifth largest in the world, but zero domestic NdFeB magnet manufacturing. Now, with EV penetration targeted at 30% by 2030, demand will soar to 7,150 tons a year. That's worth 7,295 crores. So all in all, when you're looking at it in a holistic way, the challenges are mounting, but the mission for the auto world is clear. Steer through the disruption and drive beyond dependence.